we are back, and I'm going to make a furniture territorial part 3. And I'm just going to take these 3 that we made last time, and I'm going to delete them. I'm just going to change the name after, and that way it still keeps this file alive. It's just, I'm just reusing for we don't have to set up our scaling. If you need to, I guess I should have just did it. You go to this units and change it to 0.01. You go here, 0.01. You go here and change it to logo. Anyways, so I'm going to make a computer chair, and I'm going to make a computer desk because I was going to make a computer series where we make actual computers. So I thought maybe I can connect the two maybe. Alright. So let's start with some furniture, I guess. I guess we'll make the desk first because that's going to be the easiest one. There's a few different ways we can make this. Way one, we take a bunch of different little tiny pieces, we piece them together, and we make what we want that way. Way two, we take one piece or 2 pieces, in this case 2 it would be, obviously, and we punch out the rest of the shapes that we want. Maybe I'll make a quick demonstration of 2 different ways. For you can use your imagination to make it the way you want to make it, because I'm sure you have your own ideas. You're not just watching me going, dude, I like a fish. I know you got your own ideas. I know you got your own ambitions. So we're just going to use my stuff as inspiration to help you do your own stuff. Alright, so I'm just going to do those. I'm not going to attach them because you know what happens when we boolean something that's attached. Let's just change the shader up here to viewport shader. That way we could see things a little better like that. Right. Okay, so we're going to use another shape to punch this one out this time. And we're going to see how that looks for us, and it gives us the look that we're trying to get. So make sure you come through the bottom first off. And if that's the look you want, because we're trying to basically make a spot for your knees to go. For their knees to go. So we're just going to do this probably about that width. And I think that'll hopefully, maybe a hair wire there actually, now that I'm thinking of it. Like that maybe. Maybe we'll duplicate it and we'll use that size for over here to give us a symmetric look, right? Because when we use the same sizes, it's going to give us the same look on either side. So the difference here would be joining as opposed to boolieing. And if I want this to go right through, I can just extend it a little bit, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to give you guys an example of the different ways we could do this. And we'll see how this looks. I haven't practiced, so I don't know. I always go by that. If it doesn't look right, I just destroy it. I make something else. Because if you don't think it looks right and you made it, chances are other people aren't going to either. So just keep practicing. Don't worry. Don't get stressed. You got this. People are probably getting sick of my can-do attitude by now, eh? I just try to be positive. You know what I mean? I've been told my whole life I can't do things, and I've had to find my own way, so something like this we can do if we want to make it a complicated dresser. We might have to move this one up a little bit. I was trying to keep those in line, but it looks like we're a little off size. Another way we could do this too is thin this out just a little bit. And then when we make our other ones, obviously, they are going to have a little bit more room. Okay, that's probably a better look there. And again, you know, there's nothing wrong with destroying something and making it over. I do it all the time. Alright, let's go ahead and duplicate these, because we're going to make some drawers after for our computer desk, okay? Alright, so we'll just boolean these out of the shape. Again, we haven't attached anything, so it shouldn't cause any issues. There we go. Nice and clean look to it, right? Look pretty much like a computer desk. And you'll just notice as after you do some work on this stuff, your work is just going to get so much better over time that pretty soon you're going to be giving these courses to me. Going, well, why didn't you do this, fish? If you're not already. And that's fine too. Two ways we could do this. I already duplicated. We can try to match them up on each one. And that's a little bit more difficult. You gotta kind of have to have a sharp eye for it. So instead of doing that, we're gonna just delete these, delete that, and take it out of one. And we're gonna have to guess on the holes on the other one, but we're gonna shrink it after just a hair, and it should be easy enough because we only got to go up and down to get it in line. So when you're ready, go ahead and bool this one, different, and slide it in. Just move ourselves down, nice and easy, no big deal. You're gonna hit S, and just give yourself a slight edge, like that. See? And it's just gonna help us know when we're exactly in place and make it look better when it's sliding out of the dresser, make it more noticeable when you're looking at it. So when you're ready, and if you're happy with your drawer, if you have to go back and redo it, that's fine too. I'm happy with my drawer. Oh, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's do one more thing first. Let's add a handle. And I'm sorry to just jump one way then another, but as you know, I do this live. I don't practice, so you're gonna have to bear with me with stuff like that. And hopefully you feel more like you're doing it with me, and we're doing this together. We're going on an adventure together. Remember, if I get ahead of you at all, pause the video. And if you get ahead of me, you go ahead and make yourself a tea. You've earned it. And I see tea because I drink a lot of tea. Herbal teas. Just love them. Love the taste of them. Alright, let's shrink this down. Well, okay. When you're happy, we're going to go a little bit like this. Okay, keeping in mind that we're probably going to put a knob on the end of this. We're just trying to get a good size for a piece to come out like that. Maybe a little smaller. Okay. When you're happy, go ahead and duplicate it. Move forward. Okay. We're going to hit S to scale it up this time. And then we're going to scale it back down this way. And you might have to adjust a little bit. Mine's still a little big, obviously. So when I'm happy, we do this. And if you're not happy, if you're like, well, I don't like the look of that, it looks stupid. Okay, let's try something else to make it all fancy for the big fancy people who like fancy things. I'm just kidding, it's not a big deal. Alright, so it's a little thinner, it looks a little sharper. So let's flip over this mode, we'll hit our face. And what will we do to make it different? Well, there's a few different things we can do. We could go in a little bit. Alright, change back to our arrows. And this is going to taper the edges for us and bring us out to a point. If you like that, that's great. If you want to keep going, you can hit E now. Right? And then hit S. And voila. A bit fancier of a handle. We got a mushroom shape. Maybe you're like, well, it's too thick now, Mr. Fish. What shall we do about that? Well, we'll just scoot it in like that. Okay? Not a big deal. And if you just don't like it, make it over. Flip this around 90 degrees if you like it better. You gotta do you. Because things are gonna always look different in other people's eyes, right? You're not seeing what I see, and I'm not seeing what you see. And that's fine. That's how we make a better place together. Okay? So I'm just gonna bump that in just a hair. When I'm happy, grab the drawer, grab that, grab this. And then we're gonna Control J. Okay? This is now one unit pulled by the handle. Right click to put it back in place. Shift D. And we'll drag this one up. Should be able to tell when it's in place because you should see a slight gap all the way around it. And when you see a slight gap all the way around it, you are in place. Now grab from the middle because it's going to be easier because it's not as far to go. And same thing. Look for your little tiny gap on both sides Sorry, I'm trying to slightly move it. There. I think we're in place. You may have to move it around a little bit more than that, but I think you get the idea. So we are going to leave those disattached, as you know, because we need the drawers to be able to open, and I believe they have to be disattached for that to happen. You can import them together, they just can't be attached. Right? I think you can anyways. I'm not the importing person in our game. That's Queen Fish, our master programmer. She does all that stuff. She's the greatest. I'm just a designer. And that's why I'm always making stuff. Alright. So one last thing I'm going to say is that if you want, we can grab this, go into edit mode, and if you're not happy with your surface up here, you can Control B, taper the edges to whatever you're happy with, and you can add some segments in there to round them off better. Maybe you want to make it a hair bigger now for it overlaps on either side, so we'll just flip back to the other one, and there we go. And hopefully that looks good to you, because that looks really good to me. Okay, maybe you want to add a drawer up here. We probably should have done it back then, but we could still just Shift D. I'll just show you this and then we'll move on to the next item. You can put a drawer there, you can put a drawer here. It's going to be the same process. Okay? Now you're going to have to make sure you put it a little more carefully than I did, alright? Just to make sure it's exactly where you want it, because I'm just giving you an example. I can't say that enough. Alright. So all I can do at this point is try to size this to the same size as that. And I'm going to have to do a little bit of guesswork, obviously. So it's just coming through the sides, but it's coming through more on that side than the other. So let's try one more. Oops, I went two. And then we'll try bumping it over, and we just want to make sure it's perfectly even. Side to side. We're off a little bit on this side. And the reason being is when we cut the drawer out, I think we're perfect now. We've got to go a little bigger. Like that. Okay. And we're going to have to go a little bigger the other way. That's why I said we should have done it before, because this is rather hard to try to size something perfectly to something else like this. It takes a little bit of time, and I hate to do it in a video, and I apologize if you're frustrated with me for it. I should have thought it out better, I guess. But that's what happens when you're making stuff. You make mistakes. Alright. So I'm perfectly in the middle. So I'm just going to go in here like this. Maybe I could S just a little bit to be safe on this one. And we're just going to drag it out just a hair, just to make sure we're bigger. And we will object bool difference. Oh, it went right through. Whoopsies. You probably don't want that since the other ones didn't, so let's just make it a little thinner that way. Oh, or we can just move it forward. Better yet, just click on just the drawer and move it forward. Then bool, make sure you're not poking out the back. Difference. Okay? Perfect. Good work. Put our drawer in. Shouldn't have to move it. Should be alright. You might have to side scale it a little bit, it looks like. I went a little too wide trying to be safe, but you can just move it around until it's perfect for you. Okay? Great. Alright, we've done our dresser. Or sorry, our computer desk. That's wonderful. So, I'm going to join this to this. Now that I'm happy and it's complete, I can join them without worrying. Control J. And then I'm going to grab all the drawers. And I'm going to grab the desk. Actually, let's color it real quick, just to get it done. So we'll go up to here, we will go to view shading, we will go into edit mode with tab, and then we'll go down here to material properties. We'll hit plus, new, and we're just going to make a desk color, woody type color, maybe like that, and then we can make this darker. There we go. Assign. Alright. And maybe you want the top to be a little bit different, so let's just do this part different and make it look like a highlight in the wood. Plus, new. If you want anything else, just highlight what you want. And do the same as we just did. I'm just trying to give it a different look. We're going to have to do all the drawers separate. Just grab your drawers. Go plus. Oh, make sure you're in edit mode, tab. New. When you're in this mode, L over top. And then we're just going to pick our color. Okay. Well, maybe we'll make it a little woody too, right? There we go. Okay. And it doesn't have to be the same color because you're just giving it a slot for its own color. We're going to have to do the handle. Go to an angle that you can see this piece. So you get the whole handle. Plus, new. And then we're just going to make it a steely color to represent steel to remind us. Well, that's kind of what it's going to look like. It'll probably match the same color because you'll use the same color textures on these two. For your drawers, match your dresser. But again, we're just setting up examples, and this is what you have to do to be able to color them. Okay? So, plus, new, and we got to do all our drawers, unfortunately, guys. I'll try to do them as quickly as I can. Are we in edit mode? No, make sure you're in edit mode. And then assign. Click over top the handles. Plus, new, and make it a steel color. Assign. Alright. And if I get ahead of you, just go ahead and pause it. And if I follow behind you, go ahead and get yourself a T. I doubt I'm behind you if you're a beginner. Or I doubt it I'm in front of you, you're in front of me if you're a beginner, but I suppose it is perfectly possible. I'm not the best at anything by any means. I'm just trying to give you guys some help. Because it was so hard for me to get going when I started. Plus, new. But now I feel like there's not a whole lot of things, and I'm sure there are some things that I can't make. Just a matter of adding the right details and things like that to them, right? Make sure you're in edit mode when you're coloring. And we should be done our dresser in just a second here. Grab the handle, and again you can assign these different colors when they're in your game. I just want to remind you that for you don't panic and be like, why are you miscoloring everything? Don't worry. I don't know why I made that color, but it's different. That's all that matters. Alright? Perfect. Good work, everybody. So, for now, I'm going to grab our desk. Whole thing, the drawers and everything, and we're just, ooh yeah, of course you're gonna do that on me, aren't you? Okay, let's not grab the desk first, and we'll just, why are you being so difficult? We'll just grab the drawers, okay, and scoot them back, and then we'll grab the desk because they want to be difficult and move different ways, and we'll just scoot that back for now, just for now. Get them out of our way for we can build some other stuff. Alright, we need a chair for our computer desk. And it's more furniture for our game that we're making, depending on what you're making. I say you're not making a computer game, so you don't need a rolling chair. You can still use this chair, just don't put wheels on it. Alright? Alright. So let's get started. We will make a cylinder. Alright? Hi, Mr. Cylinder. Let's flip you sideways, sir. Whatever way that may be, that's good. Yeah, that'll probably be the best. And we'll move ourselves into a good spot for you can see well. Click just this face, just this face. If you are having problems, make sure you're clicked on faces up here. It should still be from earlier. Then we're going to hit I. Going to go in a little bit. Going to hit E. Oh, make sure you just clicked on one face now. Hit E. Gonna have to guess at this, okay? Go to the other side, hit E. You know what? There's a more even way to do this. I just thought of it. Sorry, I'm silly. I should have thought of it this before. Let's just go back. till they're both the same. And then grab both faces like this. And we can just use this. And then it should be the same on both sides. Oh, I see. Right. Let's hit I one more time. And now we can use that without bending it. Alright. Okay. Now, probably flip out of edit mode there. Go sideways, scale down, S. It's going to be a chair wheel, so we're going to have to be pretty small. Alright. I would do for this look. Let's go make a square. There's usually a way that these kind of things hook in here, and I'm having a bit of an issue figuring out how they do, just thinking about the way that they do. So I'm just going to kind of invent my own little system here, and hopefully this makes sense to you, and I apologize if it doesn't. But I'm sure you could still use it. So I'm just going to make a small little peg here, like this. Let me extend it a bit. Like that, I guess. We'll flip to edit mode. Okay, just going to go up here, switch to edges, and then just grab the edges here. 4 of them, all the way around. Then Control B, because we're just going to round that a bit. And I could have just used a cube, I know. This is just the way I do things. So, Control D, first off, because the first one, I'm going to scale back up just a hair. It's going to punch through here. And I realize if you made the last couple furnitures, this one's a bit more difficult, but just bear with me, you're going to get here. And you'll be making furniture in no time that I didn't even think of. And if this isn't that complicated, great. Alright. Object, bool, difference. Alright, we made a hole. This one should fit in that hole, right? Great. Good work. Alright. As long as you got this, if I get ahead of you, pause me. Everybody's at a different pace. Some people want me to slow down. Other people were like, why do you take so long? Can't win. Alright. So I'm just going to do this. And I think we're pretty much there. Remember, this is going to be awfully small, so you're not going to be able to see it great. It doesn't have to be perfect, but do as best as you can to line these two up. I'm going to do something like that, and then I'm going to Shift D. Alright, and we are going to do it on the other side by adding a minus here, maybe? Yep. This isn't long enough, or in the right place. Just try to even it up. Okay, so what we've done is made a bit of a harness, right? You can lean these up if you want, or if you want to grab the tops, you can bend them in a bit. But I'm just going to go with that. It's going to be a little wheel harness that's going to attach to the lag, basically. So I'm just going to go lag on top of this, probably. Like it bolts up into the bottom of it. I don't know. I don't see a lot of... I guess I can look at my chair wheels, eh? Oh, you're much different. Okay, well, I think we get the idea. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. So mine hooks in the middle, but we're going to do this style. If yours is different, if you like it different, just go ahead and make it that way. That's fine. Get the idea. We drove the hole. We put the peg through. Yours might go different. It might come back up here and go straight up. Up to you. Actually, maybe we'll do that. Does that look better? Let's try that. Let's destroy this one. Let's duplicate this one. And let's just do this. And we'll go like halfway though. And hopefully this makes sense to you guys. We'll Shift D that one. And we'll turn it on to 90. Perfect. And hopefully this makes sense to you guys and works for more of what you're looking for. I think that's more of how they go. Looking at my own chair leg and less of what I was doing. Maybe yours is different. Maybe you have a better idea. Just go ahead and do whatever you need to do. No big deal. We're just going to go ahead and put this wheel together now. Maybe you want to put a peg on the other side. I guess we could do that real quick. Shift D. Just give this reason to hold this wheel together, I guess. I'm seeing an edge sticking out there. There we go. Alright. So we're just making a net, basically. I'll make it round for now. Okay. Shift D. So we just made it, make sure it's a little bigger than the last one. Actually, I shouldn't have Shift D'd that because I can do this because it's not attached. And because we haven't moved on that axis, we should be able to do that basically. And then make a bool. Alright, and here's your nut to hold it onto your wheel. If you want to go a little shorter on this guy, make sure you grab the right one, unlike me. And just bump it over. Let's just change. What shader are we in? There we go. Let's just change back to this shader for it's a little easier to see what we're doing. There you guys go. Sorry about that. I forget sometimes. This one could go over this way. Just for we're not so close to the edges, because then it starts making issues, like the edges shining through on weird angles. It's probably better. See it happening on this one. Maybe we'll go a hair smaller. Excuse me. Alright. Looking good, guys. Perfect. Maybe we... You know what? That's probably fine. Let's go ahead and join these. Control J. And you probably want to leave your wheel free for it can spin. Up to you again. I'm going to attach mine for now just to make things easier. So I'll make this the main part by hitting Control J, but clicking this part last. Right, perfect, good. Okay, so we have our wheel. Let's drag it over there. Maybe about there-ish. Alright, let's make a square. And again, I don't really have an idea how I'm going to make this yet. We're just all kind of winging it. All winging it together. Should I go up from there? What should I do here? Let's try something here. Let's see if we can make the top of this chair leg together by going up a little bit here. And then we're going to go into edit mode with tab and hit Control R. And this is an experiment, so sorry if it doesn't work. Go to this side, hit Control R. Okay. Let go. With right click, I just let go and let them center themselves. And now I am going to... Is this going to work? I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm going to go like this. I was going to do it on the other side, but I don't know if that's the shape we want really, right? Not really, I guess. Okay, let's go back. Sorry about that. Again, we're experimenting. There's probably a way to do that, but I won't make you suffer through the way while I figure it out. So what do we need here? We need some kind of cross beam to hold all our wheels together, basically. And on top of that, it's got to be a bit of a triangle shape, I believe. So let's try that. So let's put that cut through the middle again by going to Edit, Control R, right click to center it. But we're going to grab just this edge and then Control left click to this edge. Okay. I don't know if that'll work. No. Let's undo that. Okay, so we just have the bottom ones and use the arrows. Oh, no. Smoothing those. Okay, so let's click off the sides. Sorry again. And just move the bottom up. Just thinking, is this the look we want too? I don't really know. You know what? Let's get out of here. Let's delete this. Sorry about this, guys. Let's do something else. Cube. Let's do this. Let's do this. Again, I do all these live, so sometimes I don't really know what I'm going to do. I just kind of figure it out as I go. And we'll use the punch out technique to do the same as we did on the other one. Okay, so let's just put a cut, sorry, in the middle again. But we're going to do something else. Don't worry, don't worry. Don't panic. We're just going to take that edge, and since there's the one in the middle now, it should let us bend. And we're just going to get the right angle. Perfect. Maybe we'll grab that one and just drag it up. Okay, I think this is more what I was thinking in my head. I couldn't think of a way to do it. Sorry for the delay. So I'm just going out of edit mode with Tab, Shift D, and we will try to find the way to spin this. That's wrong, so we'll change that back to 0. Spin this with 90, please. Nope, that's wrong. 0, 90, perfect. Okay. Now what we're going to want to do, I'm going to want to bury one in the other and then probably match them or find a way to flatten these top edges. How can we do this for it's a little nicer? So maybe we'll delete the second one and we'll redo this one by going to this one, and then we'll make sure we're on edges and we'll grab all the edges all the way around. All around the top at least, okay? Let's see what happens when we Control B. Gives us a much nicer edge. Still feel like that's not the issue of why we're poking out. Let's try doing the middle one. I just right click to cancel it. Let's try that because these were poking out, right? So let's see if that'll work a little better. Maybe if we shrink it just a little, the angle won't be so intense. Is this on an angle? I think it's not on an angle. Hopefully it's not on an angle. If it is, I don't know I have done that. Alright, Shift D. Okay. Alright, so let's spin this to our, I think it was the third one. 90. Perfect. Now we're just going to go down a hair for it's not poking out the face because that did not fix that. Like that. And then we're going to go here and just go up a little bit. Might have to move it a bit, but then we'll be just able to move it to the wheels because they should be exact. Okay? Just make sure your edges aren't poking out. Good. Perfect. Has a pretty good look to it. Pretty smooth. Alright, and if you're looking for something a little better, just pause the video while you make your better version. Okay? But I think this is going to work for what we're doing. I should delete that, and then I should use the exact coordinates to hopefully put it exactly on their side. Gonna have to spin it on another angle. Let's try minus 90. No. And probably 180 here. I don't know why we're not underneath. Is this not centered? Okay. Yeah, that's not centered. That's better. That should be more what we're expecting. Okay, these two are a little off now. Sorry, I don't know how we got off center there, but we did, and it's always good to stay on center as best as you can. Okay, so we're just going to bump them in when they look like they're in. Okay, we're going to go ahead and make another one. Shift D. Alright, I'm going to hit 0 here. Put it back in the middle. And we'll go over here. And depending which ways you want your wheels to be facing, probably the same way as the other ones. You can do one backwards, one frontwards, and both the same way. Kind of up to you and what you want. But we're just going to guess on how close they are to the edge. Try to match it as best as we can. Okay. Shift D. And then we're just going to test which way. Okay. And add a minus. And we should be perfect. Perfect, guys. Good work. Now, I did attach these. You'll probably have to disattach your wheels at the very end, but for purposes of just getting this chair together a little easier, let's keep them attached for now. So let's actually go the opposite way, and we will choose, that's probably how we got off center actually. We don't have to move it yet, let's just keep it there. Okay, we will make another cylinder, shrink it, bump it up, shrink it. You can see how it kind of covers the other edges, so maybe you want to select a spot in there somewhere. Okay. When you're happy, make sure you're happy. We could just join it, or maybe we'll duplicate it first, Shift D. And let's do some bools first actually. So we're going to hit S. Okay. When you're happy with the size that's going to go to your upper chair, that's what we're doing right now. Go ahead, move it down. Okay. And Shift D. What we're doing basically is making an adjustable chair. Shift D. Sorry. Grab this, Shift, left click, Object Bool, then Difference. Okay? We shouldn't have to change this at all. If you want, you can curve the edge here. Just go around, click in Control and left click until you have the whole edge. I think I got it all. It's hard to see. Control B, and you just taper the edge. Okay? Right. And remember, you can use these tricks on anything to make anything look like anything. It doesn't affect our bool in the middle because we kept away from it by just doing the edges. Perfect. Maybe make that a bit longer, because now it's going to sit in here. And it's going to make it so either you can really make an adjustable chair, or you can make it look like your chair is adjustable. That's up to you. But I think we've made a pretty fancy bottom side of a chair, so let's just keep going. Push through this and get through this, guys. Sorry if it's taken too long for you guys. We will move this up. No, let's make it flat first. Okay, make sure it's the right size for what you're trying to do. If you're trying to make a full chair, make sure that works for you. Okay, and there's a few different ways we could do this. We'll try to be quick on demonstrating. But again, I just want to show you guys the possibilities and then let you make up your own minds what you want. Okay, so I would highlight those four. As you know, that's going to give us a smooth edge on those. Okay, Control B. Right, perfect. Okay. Now, if you want there to be like a butt imprint, there's a few ways you could do that. You can make a butt shape and you can cut it out of the chair, but it's going to make a lot of vertices, so we're probably not going to do that. But if we just want a bit more detail, flip in edit mode again, flip the faces, grab the face, sink in to where you're happy, maybe go down a little bit. Okay. Sink in with eye again. Oh, we can't go any farther, sorry. So maybe that's your chair then. Got a little bit of texture sinking in, so maybe that's the best that one's going to get anyways. You might be able to do some more tricks by cutting it different ways, for you can pull different ends up and things like that, but I think this is more than the point of what we were looking for. Right, so I'm going to flip out, I'm going to duplicate that, move it over, put it on a 90, the wrong 90, like always. Perfect, okay. Doesn't really matter as long as you make it go up, right? Let's move it up a little bit more. Alright, it's looking good. Maybe since it's the back piece, we'll go a hair thinner. Like that. Okay. And now we're going to make another piece, Shift A, and we're going to make a cube. And we're going to do this and make a bar for the back to attach. Okay? If you want to smooth your bar, you know how to do it. I've already showed you. We're just going to sink in a little bit to the chair like that. Make sure we're high enough. Maybe a little higher. There we go. Alright. And we're looking good again. So we're going to go ahead and Shift A again. Make a cube. S. I'm going to shrink it down with S this time. Move it over. And we are going to go to our sizer. I'm going to make some arms. Now, you can leave them square. You can make a different shape if you want. You can put a piece of steel under and then put a different shape on top. I'm going to do it just one way, for you guys can have a demonstration of how I would do it. I probably just beveled this by just grabbing that face. Now, if you want to make it look puffy, just pull that up a little bit. Let's do that again. Let's go back, and when we bevel, we're going to turn the segments down to 1. See how that just made 1? And then when we lean up, it's going to go all the way to the outside. So it's just going to look more like a chair arm, in my opinion. I'm going to shorten it a little bit. Sorry, let's get out of that mode. Let's shorten it a little bit. Do one of those. Okay. Get it to about the right height. About there, I think. Something like that. Now we can Shift D. And you can make this one your bar, if you don't mind your bevel in it. I do. I want a straight cube, so I'm going to make a cube out of this one. Sorry about that, guys. Just giving you demonstrations, though. Alright. Okay, let's go over. We're probably going pretty far for a chair video, so we're going to cut this off pretty soon. As soon as we can get this chair together. We'll also use a trick to make it go a little faster. Sorry about the length, guys. It's hard to get all this information in such a short period of time. Okay, shorten this to the right length. When you're happy with what you got, move it into the inside for you. Make sure you're touching your chair. So make more sense, right? Like so. Move this down. Like so. You see yourself going through it. You went too far probably. Move it up a little. Like that. Okay, perfect. Take this, Shift D. We're going to keep it on the same axis. We're just going to change the size of it. I keep on grabbing it the wrong way. If you grab it the wrong way, you can just right click to reset it. Okay, something like that. Took me a little bit. When they're shrunk that small, it gets hard to get them going again. Get them to a decent size again. Just go pretty thin with this one. Okay. It's just basically going to be a support for your arm for your chair. So again, make sure you're touching your chair. Perfect. And we'll go to this side a little bit, like that, probably. And we can see I'm not touching our chair again. Is it too far? Why can I see this? Oh, that bar doesn't go far enough. Let's do there. And go up a little bit. Like that. Then covers up the bar. So, it may not be perfect, but it should be good enough for what you're looking for, hopefully. So let's just go ahead and attach these on, okay. Left click, Shift left click, Control J. Sorry if I don't explain something or if I leave it out. We may have to move some of these pieces around, so How am I going to do this? Just have to move them by eye, I guess, guys. Alright, so since these are now attached, and we can't really just move them on their own, gonna have to make a few adjustments in edit mode. So the piece you want to move, hit L over top of it, swoop that in. Alright. Needs to go way over here. I must be off my zero kilter again. Shoot. I didn't grab the whole piece. Oops. So we're going to use L, obviously. Sorry. Everybody's always making mistakes, though, right? And then we just got to move this piece and grab it with L. I almost did it again. Okay. Something like that. Make sure they look pretty even on either side. And I would say we are done our chair. So let's go ahead and attach everything out of edit mode. So everything is disattached, it looks like. So let's start at the top and go down, I guess. And hopefully you guys are very happy with your chairs. If you are, let me know in the comments. If you're not, tell me what you think could have been better or worse or whatever. I just highlighted them all and Control J. Make sure you thumbs up, like, subscribe, and check out my other videos. I just posted a video of Fishton, A Town to Remember, a game that I have on Steam if you'd like to see and support me. And yeah, we'll come back. We'll do a coloring on the chair maybe and start some other stuff. Thanks for watching, guys.